Welcome back. Today we are getting intimate. I'm doing a Q&A, which I haven't done one in so long. So as always, you have questions and I have answers. By the way, I am in my office slash guest room slash filming room thing. This room is pretty small, so it's still a work in progress. So there's not much going on aesthetically, but that's okay because you don't need to look at the room. Look at me. I really didn't go through the questions at all or pick any out, so we're just gonna wing it. The first one being, how's your mental health? I feel like that's a good first question to answer. Let's just say my mental health always changes because I don't think it really can be consistent. But over the last few months, I have been struggling a lot with a lot of anxiety and depression, like really bad. And I feel like my anxiety was worse than it had ever been in my life, to the point where I couldn't fall asleep because my heart was racing. I thought about everything that could go wrong in life. Like, I'm just very stressed, and I feel like it has a lot to do with my age. When I turned 25, it's like a switch flipped and I'm like, whoa, I'm getting older, I gotta get it together. And then I'm freaking out about like if I want to have more kids. Like, Mattheo's getting older, and obviously I'm still young. Like, I'm in my mid-20s. The fact that I can say that is crazy, but I don't know, it's just a mixture of things. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to freeze my eggs. I don't know why I'm thinking about that right now, but it's just a lot. And I know that now that I decided to go back to college, I probably won't have a kid for a few more years, at least not until I get the hang of it, or until I finally graduate, or if I'm close to finishing. I don't know. I don't really know where life is gonna take me, which is a big part of where my anxiety stems from. So that's where we're at right now, and I'm still struggling with that a lot. What really helps me to get out of that state is being very disciplined with my schedule, because I tend to just lay in bed and do nothing all day long when I have a lot of anxiety, because I feel so paralyzed, which makes it worse. So I feel like I've been waking up a lot earlier and getting everything done on my to-do list, and making to-do lists on my notes app. My notes app is my best friend, and that helps me so much. You kind of just have to force yourself to do things when you're feeling like this. And I've struggled with this for so long, and I feel like at this point I know myself so well. Somebody asked, what are you going to school for? So I'm actually going to school for computer science, which is the goal, and I'm reaching for the stars. I know that that's a very hard major, but I feel like college is just kind of hard in general. But I've decided to not stress myself out about it. Like, I am smart and I'm capable of anything, and you are too. Like, I feel like you have to talk to yourself that way, and you have to continue saying these things to yourself instead of the negative self-talk that we all tend to do a lot of the time. And it helps me feel better. I also research a lot, and now with TikTok, I feel like there's so many different types of creators and like so many different types of people that we have access to, and it's amazing because I can look up computer science majors or like women in STEM. There's a lot of tips that they give you, or what they did to accomplish what they have accomplished, and it really gives me so much hope and so much motivation to get there. And that's the goal. Like, I'm gonna continue to do YouTube. I'm gonna continue to be an influencer. Like, this is a big part of my life and what I love to do. But I love actually that I'm going to college. Like, I really love that about myself, and that I decided to do that. And I am so excited because I feel like my content is gonna change a little bit. I feel like over the years I kind of got stuck. I was feeling very unmotivated, and like I was doing the same thing over and over, which isn't bad, you know. People have their genre that they like to stick to, and as much as I liked doing mom content and vlogs, and I still will, I also want to talk more about real life, like going to college. And it's not like I don't have a job. Like, this job has provided for myself and for my son and for literally everything that I have, so I'm very thankful. Like, this is a very legitimate job, but it's not a secure job. I need that like reassurance. I know it's gonna take a while, but 4 years, that flies by. 6 years already flew by from when I had my son. So what's 4 more years? What was the question? Oh yeah, I'm gonna go into computer science. You know, things might change in the future, but I'm hoping they don't. Like, I'm very dedicated to this. And if any of you are studying computer science, or did study computer science, or know somebody, please leave a comment or message me on Instagram. I would really like to know your experience and your thoughts on all of it. Is it hard going out with 3 puppies and Mateo? So I don't take all 3 dogs out at once. Whenever we go on walks, usually it's Valeria and I, and we take all 3. But as far as like going places, I usually take Lola because she is the littlest one, and whenever we do go places with her, it's for like weenie events, and she's a weenie. But all three of them travel with us wherever we go. So if we go to Orlando, they all go with us, and it's actually not that hard. The only hard part is that I need a bigger car because Ginger is humongous, and we just kind of had to like maneuver our way around like fitting them into the car and like our luggage and all of that. Sometimes I get overstimulated because yeah, 3 dogs is a lot and a kid, but we manage. But I will say having 3 dogs is hard because whenever we don't take them places, you have to figure out where to leave them. Like you have to have people that will watch them for you, or you're gonna have to hire a babysitter, which is not gonna be cheap. And it's also just, I don't feel safe like hiring a random person to watch my dogs. Too many things happen, and my dogs are my babies. So yeah, that is hard and it gets expensive. It's 3 dogs. Even 1 dog is a lot of work. Somebody asked what classes I'm taking in college. So I'm gonna be taking 4 classes to start with that I can't remember right now, and I should have gone and looked it up. Right now though, I'm taking classes for my AA, which is all your like core classes. I have a few credits from the first year that I went to college, but really not a lot. So I have like 2 classes that I don't have to take. But other than that, like right now I'm just taking like the basic classes, so nothing too interesting. What would your life have been like if you had a baby girl? If I had a baby girl, I think my life would have looked similar, just with a girl. You know, I think that, yeah, it would have been pretty similar. I don't think that I would have treated a girl too differently, other than the fact that I would probably shop a lot more if I had a girl, just because I'm very girly at heart. And if I had a girl, I would buy so many things. You know how like girls have all the accessories, even though you could buy them for a boy as well, but Mateo was not interested. I gave him the freedom to fully express himself whatever way he wants to, and he's just like very into what he's into. But he's a very simple guy actually. He just has his like interests for a few weeks. Like right now he's very into drawing, or he's been very into Pokemon or Bakugans or things like that, things that I have not personally been able to relate to. Like I literally bought him a Barbie for Christmas once because he wanted one. He had no interest in it. So if I had a girl, I think I would spend more money. But other than that, I don't know, we'd probably be the same. I eventually do want a girl though. That would be very interesting. Do you and Val fight a lot? Me and my girlfriend have been fighting a lot recently, and I don't know what to do. I feel like every relationship, well, I'm not gonna say every, I'm not gonna generalize, but for the most part, like from what I've heard or what I've experienced or like my friends, couples fight. Like couples are gonna get into arguments. If I'm being really real with you, we have gone through phases where we fought a lot, and I feel like that has a lot to do with the fact that we're girls. But it's true, and I'm also speaking from experience because I've dated guys and I've dated a girl, and I've only dated 1 girl, but this is my experience with this 1 girl. But it is different. It is different. I feel like fights with a girl are a lot more like I lose my mind, because it's just it's a lot of like emotions, and so then one thing turns into another and it drags on for so long. And that has just been my experience, but I don't even know what advice I would give you because I don't know what the fights are about in your relationship. But if it really is very ugly and you don't see a future and like you don't see it progressing or like getting better, then yeah, sometimes you do have to let things go for your own mental health. Communication is key, and that's all I can say. I do know though that whenever you're in a fight, I've learned to be very like monotone and calm. If I raise my voice or if I'm like a whiny, nothing is gonna get done. Do I speak Spanish? I do speak Spanish with a Puerto Rican accent, and I speak it very well. I'm fluent, but only when I'm talking to my family or like I'm talking to somebody that's Puerto Rican. I feel very comfortable. If not, I get very like shy. Like if I'm talking to somebody that's speaking in a Colombian accent and they're very proper, I feel like I don't know how to talk. And I also, like if I'm talking to myself nowadays, like I can't talk in Spanish, so that's why I don't do a vlog in Spanish, because I'm like, what do I even say? So like I can understand absolutely everything, but when it comes to like actually expressing myself as I do in English, I feel like that's very hard. And I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but like if you speak another language, I feel like, you know, most of the time I feel like you can express yourself better in one language than the other, mostly the language that you speak the most. My favorite qualities about my son, there's a lot. Mateo is so incredibly smart. By the way, he just made it into the principal's honor roll. He's in the 1st grade, and I feel like he's just so bright, and I'm so proud of him because he was struggling a little bit, not a little bit, a lot, and still is kind of struggling with like all kinds of emotions, with his little brain, with everything that he feels. You know, he was diagnosed with ADHD, so that's been very hard for us to navigate, but I feel like we've done a lot better, and it hasn't affected him at all at school. Like, he is doing amazing. We just got his report card back and straight A's, and like all the teacher comments were like, works independently, is a model student, like just they had amazing things to say. So yeah, I'm very proud of him. He's also very crafty. He loves doing like experiments that he sees on TV, and whenever he's into something, he is into it. Like right now he's into drawing, so he's been watching all kinds of drawing videos, and like whatever he puts his mind to, he gets it done. And he's so sweet. He is my biggest hype man. Like, if I get ready, he looks at me and he's like, wow, you look so pretty, where are you going? Those are just a few, but I love him. This is a juicy one, and one that I haven't been wanting to answer because I don't know. I did answer this question on a TikTok live, and if you don't follow me on TikTok, you're missing out because I spilled the tea the other day. But the question is, what happened to that guy Mateo called dad? I made a mistake. I think that I was just young and stupid when we first met, and I wanted a family so bad. Mateo started calling this guy dad from the moment that we started dating, and I didn't really do anything to stop it, which was my mistake. But you know, it was done, so I couldn't really do anything about it when the relationship ended. But after the relationship ended, you know, this guy had said, I don't know, whatever, he would just keep in touch, and he did for like 2 months, and then he disappeared. And I don't really blame him because I know that he's not his biological dad. He has no like responsibilities to be there. Like, I really couldn't force him to be a dad, so I didn't fight it, and Mateo's okay. Like, he completely forgot about that. But I learned my lesson, and I will never ever 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 do that again. I was stupid. Somebody wanted updates on Mateo, so brings us back to his diagnosis and like everything that happened. And if you missed that video, you should go watch it. I was speaking from how I felt when we were going through that. It's been really hard, I'm not gonna lie. This is hard to explain because I know that a lot of people want to say like, oh well, it's your kid's business, like you shouldn't be putting that on the internet, but it's also like I'm a human as well, and I know that every parent that struggles with this, they want to talk about it because it affects them as a parent. And it's so true, whether it be, you know, anything he was diagnosed with or any sort of struggles that your kid faces. As a parent, it affects you so much that you need to talk about it. You cannot just keep that to yourself, because as much as we love our kids, as much as we want the best for them, it's such a tough journey. For me, it was really hard because Mateo had never been a bad kid, and I'm not saying he's a bad kid, but he didn't start acting out like that until very recently. And I'd say recently being like 2 years ago is when I first started seeing this behavior. So he was diagnosed with all these things, and I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to get him help, but like it is so hard. So we finally got him therapy. He goes to a psychologist. I took him to a neurologist, to a psychiatrist, to all these different places, because early intervention is the way to go. And I'm so happy I did that because I have learned so much. I've learned the tools that I need to know how to handle his huge meltdowns that he has. So nowadays it happens a lot less. Like before, he would have a meltdown every single day, and he's very defiant, so we could tell him, can you take a shower, in the nicest way possible. He immediately starts screaming, kicking walls, like things like that, that really affects you. So I was like crying all the time. And obviously I wasn't vlogging as much because I didn't want to pick up the camera because it would last for hours and hours. I had nothing to record because what was I gonna record? I wasn't gonna record him throwing himself on the ground or kicking us, or you know, things like that. And some days it still happens. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it still happens and it still affects me very much, and to the point where I literally just want to crawl in bed and never come out. But he has progressed. He has progressed a lot. So recently he has been, every time he gets angry, he goes to his room and he takes a deep breath, or he says, can I have my space? Which I told him that's okay, like you can be angry, and if you need your space, just tell us. And he has, and the communication has been a lot better. So that's an update on him. We're making huge progress. How's the Christmas decor going? I recently posted a vlog that included all my Christmas decor, so you guys should definitely go watch it. I feel like it's mostly done and my house looks so cozy and so amazing. This is my favorite time of the year. I love Christmas and I wish it was socially acceptable to keep all my Christmas decor out all year. But you know what? I feel like the magic of it is that it's only a few months and you get to experience these like fuzzy feelings once a year. So I guess it wouldn't have the same effect if I kept them all year round. How do you keep your legs slim? To be honest with you, my legs have been one of my biggest insecurities all my life because my legs are so skinny. It's so funny because we always want what we can't have or what we don't have. Like I always wanted thicker legs and I was always very insecure because people would say I had chicken legs, which is not nice. To answer your question, it's just genetics. I've actually tried very hard to not have skinny legs, so I don't know. How do you manage your anxiety and what is your mindset about having to work when anxious? I feel like I work better when I'm anxious, but to get up and start working takes a lot, you know? But like once I actually start, I'm like, okay, I got this, because I feel a lot more accomplished and a lot more productive if I'm working, and it helps my anxiety. But I don't think I manage anxiety very well, which is something that I should talk about with a therapist. But I have this app, it's called How We Feel, and basically it sends you notifications a few times a day, like 2 or 3 times a day, and you check in and you kind of just like, it's like a journal type of thing, and it really helps me a lot to like track how I feel throughout the weeks. But if you can tell, I've been feeling blue a lot of the time. You don't really know anybody based on what you see on social media is the point of that. Will you be doing Vlogmas this year too? I really loved watching yours last year. I really started there. I will be doing Vlogmas this year, most likely, because I really enjoyed doing it last year. Let me know if you guys want to see that, and then I'll do it. Like this video and subscribe. And like this video and subscribe. Where would you imagine you would be if you hadn't become a mom and didn't do YouTube? That's a very good question because I think about that often. I don't think I would have started a YouTube channel. I always wanted one, and I feel like most of us did as kids. The reason that it did well was because I was a mom. So I don't know where I would be. I think most likely I would have already graduated college at this point. Probably with a marketing degree. I would probably be doing something in that, and I like to think that I would be successful at it. What's something you'll leave behind in 2022? Self-doubt and negative self-talk, which are 2 of my biggest issues. I doubt myself a lot. I know that I have persevered, but I've struggled a lot doing it because I'm always terrified. I'm always terrified of everything. I don't know, it's just, I'm very scared of failure. So we're leaving behind all the negative self-talk and only speaking positively about yourself. Like, even if you don't believe it, fake it. I do it every day in the mirror and it has helped a lot. Be delusional. I know that's what everybody says, but seriously, it works because you really only live once. And you cannot sit there and be like, well, I'm not gonna be able to do this. I'm not capable of doing that. Yes, you are. There is enough room for everybody in this world to be successful. And I feel very passionately about that these days because I was in a hole for so long thinking that I wasn't capable of anything and giving up on my entire life, which is not true. That's your brain lying to you. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I answered your questions or most of your questions. I feel like those were the most popular ones. But if I missed anything, ask below and I'll answer. I love you guys and I'll see you in my next video.
Bye, Augie.